So let's wrap this up. Speaking of Juliet's excited for the sun to set, but I do not have a lot of time before the sun sets in my neighborhood, and I'm already cold. So let's see if we can wrap this up in the next 10 minutes here. I don't know if I'll finish this speech, but I might. Um, she says, lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties. Or if love be blind, it best agrees with night. So she says people in love don't need the sun because their beauty for each other lights up the room. Um, and she says lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if love be blind, it best agrees with night, meaning night is the time for love because Cupid is often portrayed as blindfolded. That's not so much in modern day. When you look up Cupid on the internet, he often has eyes that can see. But the Cupid in Shakespeare's day was a little boy with the bow and arrow and the wings, who's Venus's child, who makes you fall in love. He used to be portrayed with a blindfold, and so she says, look, if Cupid has a blindfold, then night is the right time to be in love. She says, come, civil night, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. That is a complicated line. So she imagines Night being like a serious woman, because think of a widow who wears all black, so she imagines Night being like a woman who wears all black. She says, learn me how to lose a winning match. It's kind of beautiful. It's a great again, her metaphors are unusual because her metaphors are original, because Juliet is an original thinker and her love is an original thing. Romeo's love is real, but the words he uses for it are cliches taken from old poems. Juliet says, learn me how, what did she say? She says, learn me how to lose a winning match. Winning match because her and Romeo, when they have sex, will win. That's like a winning situation to have sex with someone you love. But she needs to lose the winning match because she's going to be losing her virginity. So she's playing with words in like a clever and interesting way. And she says this game is for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. The idea that they're both going to lose their virginity, which means they're both going to lose, but they get each other so they both win. It's an interesting way of thinking about it. I really like how Juliet's mind works. I just think she's so fascinating. And also, she's asking Night to teach her how to do this because she imagines Night because like a widow's wear all black, and so Night, she imagines a metaphor, is like a woman all in black. But see, if Night is a widow, then Night used to have a husband, which means Night knows about sex, which means Night can teach Juliet. It's an original metaphor. It's an unusual metaphor. Hood my manned blood, bathing my cheeks, meaning like hide my blushes, with thy black mantle, till strange love grow bold. Think true love acted simple modesty, right? She wants Night. She wants to be bold, but she's embarrassed to jump on her new husband. So she wants Night to come to hide her excitement because she thinks maybe if he sees she's real excited about sex, he'll think badly of her because women aren't supposed to blah, 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 blah. So she says, come Night and hide the fact that I'm so excited about this. Because she wants to be bold in the bedroom, and the Night will allow her to do that. Come Night, come Romeo, come now day in night. She calls him day, even though he's coming in the night. Again, a paradox, day and night. Remember when we started off with Romeo and he had all those funny paradoxes where he said like heavy lightness, cold smoke? She's using them too, those paradoxes. For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Meaning Romeo's so beautiful, he's like light at night. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Now, Romeo used metaphors like this when he talked to her. He said her eyes are like stars. She says something much stranger and more interesting. She says, when I die, Romeo's so beautiful, he's like a light in the darkness. And she says, when I die, take Romeo and cut him up into little bits. and put all the bits in the sky so that people will love the nighttime stars more than the sunshine. That's a fascinating thing to say. Romeo's thing was cliche. Juliet's thing is original. Also, she says, "When I die, take him and cut him into little stars." It's worth pointing out that we have slang terms. They had slang terms back then too. One of the slang terms they had, the slang term for orgasm, was the little death. In French, it's le petit mort, the little death. They used to believe that you're, how do I put this? They used to believe for men that semen was like life force, and so every time you ejaculated, you were losing like a couple of minutes off of the end of your life. So that if you ejaculated too many times, you would die young. And so they had this idea that orgasms were like these little deaths. So when she says, "When I die, cut him out in little pieces," it's like it's when she's dead and she doesn't need Romeo anymore, but it's also when she's sexually satisfied. Juliet is being bold here, in a way that women are usually not in poetry, and it's a really neat thing that Shakespeare's given her these lines. Um, oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it yet, because she's married but she hasn't had sex. So she's like bought the thing, but she hasn't gotten to enjoy it. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So she hasn't been enjoyed herself. So tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival. Oh, this is this line breaks my heart. So she says, I have bought the mansion of love, but not. I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. Right? She bought the toy, but hasn't gotten it. She bought a house, but hasn't gotten to play to live in it yet. She's like been sold, but the person who bought her hasn't enjoyed her. And again, this idea of sex not as a thing to create children, but as something that is enjoyable. This is like that's not the position of the church, but for the position of the church is that sex is a sin, but you kind of have to commit it to have children, and it's important. But Juliet's just saying, I want to be enjoyed. She has a very healthy attitude towards sex. And then comes the line, and you guys aren't going to care about this, but I care about it because I'm a dork. It just breaks my heart. She says, so tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival, to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. I'm sure you guys are wondering why I give a shit about that line. I just think it's so lovely. Because she says that she says that the night is tedious. Like waiting is tedious. It's boring when Romeo's not here. And then she says it's just like a child who has a beautiful new outfit to wear at a festival, but the child has to wait. He can't wear it until later because the festival's until tomorrow, and the child is impatient to wear it. It's a metaphor. Now again, Romeo's metaphors are all cliches. This is an unusual metaphor. She says that being married but not having sex yet is just like a little child who has a new outfit that she's excited to wear to some festival, but has to wait until tomorrow to wear it. And the line breaks my heart because it emphasizes how young she is. It's not an adult metaphor. The closest thing she can compare to being excited to have she's excited to have sex with her husband because she's married but she hasn't had the wedding night yet. And what she can compare it to is something she's thinking of what to compare it to. She compares it to a little kid who's excited to wear a beautiful dress at a festival the next day and is impatient to wear it. She's looking for a similar situation. And the only thing she can come up with is something about little kids and clothes. And it just reminds you how young she is, that she's only 13. And it's just such a lovely moment because it sort of emphasizes the age. These are just children, and they're desperately in love with each other. And they're not they shouldn't be part of the adult world of war and all of the violence. Of course, Romeo's just killed somebody. And Juliet is very sweetly thinking of her husband, just as excited to see her husband as a little kid would be to wear a new outfit. I don't know. I think it's lovely. Okay, it's cold. The sun is setting. I'm going inside. I love you all. We'll continue this play later.